your dream home. So this is something I branded myself when I had my mortgage business. Also, I know these are small, you can't see it, but my daughter graduated from college. She played softball from the state, and I always branded something. And these are just little cards, you just pass it around. I kind of created these little cards, and I branded it. Yeah, that's my daughter. Thank you. Yes, right. Yeah, she went to Oklahoma State.
You gave me two for somebody else here.
So you can just kind of see different ways you can brand yourself. Those are, you just pass those back up when you're done. Those are kind of my little souvenirs. She went to college years ago. She's out of college. But anyhow, you can brand whatever you desire. She's going to pass it back. You can pass those back so everybody just kind of take a look. Because I want you to get an idea. You can brand whatever you want to brand. It's just coming up with your unique style. And I'm always thinking about anything that I do, I just start branding. So
when you brand Miss Beverly Kaye Watson, do you have to like copyright it or patent it or anything, or any of that? Is it necessary to do that?
It's a good idea, especially if you're coming up. I mean, the real thing, Coke. You know, those are copyrights.
Right.
So when you come up with your uniqueness, you want to make sure that it's all just for you. So it's a good idea. Do you start out like that? If you don't have the money, you don't. But as you increase in income, you need to make sure you do that. Get your LLCs incorporated. But that's I would say if you want to talk to a business attorney about that, that would be a good person to talk with to find more on when you should do that, based on where you are in your business and how much funds you have.
Okay, I have a question. I am registered with the Secretary of State, and then I have my business license, the E&I number. What else do I need to do to brand?
When you talk about personal branding, your personal branding is all about your uniqueness. If whatever your business is, if you have a brand that you want to use that can become your brand, I would say get with a business attorney to make sure from a copyright standpoint it doesn't exist anywhere else.
Right.
Beverly Kaye Watson Coaching is mine. It's not out there. I've already did research, looked on the internet, and I set up my LLC. So that is my name for my business.
Oh, okay. I did that already. So I'm squared away with, but still I need to speak with a business.
I would say
it's not.
That's outside the scope of what I do. But I would always say get with a business attorney so that you can have everything you need to make sure that it's legit. Because you don't want to get a business going down the road. You hear somebody comes along and say, "Oh, I started that first," and then there's a big issue from a legality standpoint. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is I want a couple of volunteers to come up, and I want you to 3 volunteers. Come on down. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm not saying she said 3 people, right? Okay, she's up there.
Yeah. Come on. No, come on. Anybody else want to come? You can come. Okay. What we're going to do is I want each of you to tell me the person that you partner with. So the person that, say your name again?
I'm Ursula still.
Ursula. And you partner with?
I do Debbie Delight.
Debbie. If you can stand, Debbie. And I want you to do one or two things. I want you to tell just one thing she shared about her brand, just one thing she shared, or something that you saw unique that you may not have had an opportunity to share with it. Because as we interact with other people, we see uniqueness in them. And we can share that, and that can become part of that brand. I think you consider that. So either one thing that you shared or something that you saw unique.
It's one and the same. Her brand, her name is Debbie Delight McGee, and her company is Delightful D Catering and Personal Chef. But what she did was flip her name, because her name is Debbie Delight, and what she did was put Delightful and added the full on the end, and D for Debbie, and then catering. But I guess and I thought that was both what you said, but I guess the thing that I would add is maybe you should put Delight-FLL, saying that the person is full because they're being fed by your catering company.
2000. Right. Awesome. Okay. Now share with us something about Ursula's business that she shared with you, or something you saw unique.
She had this clothing company called Alpha Omega God. And she says when she meets people, she makes them feel special. And she wants to do step shows around the brand. But to me, it's like religious type thing with the name God. And whenever you hear God, you see this big thing. So I think she got to step into big shoes to fulfill the name that she has.
So you see, big shoes is part of something that could be part of her branding in some respect.
There's an accessory line attached to it.
Oh, amen. Okay.
It's already there.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you, ladies. Okay, go sit down. Please stand.
Remind me of your name.
Your name again is
I'm Kim Hayes, and your name again?
Sheila.
Okay.
Sheila Winters. I should have brought my name.
Sheila Winters is a former banker, and she really loves helping people with their banking issues. So she's believing God for her image to come forth because it's there. She hasn't been working for years, so she really wants to help people with financial things. And so I was giving her just a few pointers on getting started to get a brand going. When I started 5 years ago, I went through SCORE, and I went through all of these things, and I was advising her, you're going to get all kinds of information from various people, but it's like eating fish. You take out what's good for you and you eat the bones. So Sheila definitely has an excellent business growing within her. She just has to develop it. Today's one of the first steps. So we didn't really get a chance to talk about her brand per se, other than she loves helping people. And I know she'll be a very big success because in any business, that's the main thing. Everyone wants to go to business. I thought to make money when I got started 5 years ago, and I found out it wasn't nothing about making money. It's all about helping people. And so she's going to be a very big success in her financial arena because that's needed in everyone's business and personal lives today. So her brand is going to be awesome. We just got to get her going, and today she's going to get more on that.
Is Sheila right?
Yes.
And Sheila, I just like to say, I feel this presence of a very warm glow over you too. So I'm, just get that going and figure your brand, and like you said, it's been 3 years, and you can do whatever. If all that information is in you, there's a reason and a purpose. It's time for it to come out. So don't give me a treat to me. So go ahead and can you share what you saw?
Yes, it was just so short the time. There was a purpose. You know when you come into the room and I let God choose the person that I'm to sit with. You see how I looked around the room and she was it. So when I sat next to her, she said that she's the owner of Premier Staffing. And she started her business 5 years ago. I was so excited just talking to her. And I had to share with her that I've been out of work for 3.5 years, but I've not missed a beat, And when I mentioned finance, I live it. To be able to still survive with my mortgage paid and everything taken care of. But in her business, she hires people to get them to work permanently, not just temporarily, where just a simple fix. She also goes into depth to see what their experience is, so they're not just going out and getting a job. She wants them to be fulfilled with it. So that's what it's all about. So our conversation had to end when we said time was up, but that was the magnitude of it.
So you're fulfilling, helping people fulfill that need. And
Yeah, somewhat like a coach and helping them really find out where they want to go. A lot of people out work and they're like, well, I've done this all my life. What do you really want to do? So I have a few assessment tests that I use to just really help them just dig, try to get them to really find out where they want to go and help them get enrolled.
so what's your brand? What is your
Premier Staffing for my business clients is we have Premier Staffing Solutions for your company.
Okay.
And that's just to let them know we have Premier people. We don't just everyone that applies and accepts it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ladies. Attention. And your name again is? Brittany Davis. Brittany Davis and your partner?
Catherine.
Okay, your partner is good. Okay.
And when she talked about her jewelry, and she was so passionate about her jewelry that I was like, wow, because I want to buy some of her jewelry right now. So, and I was telling her about fashion shows that we have at our school. So we have a lot of them, and
share with you, bring that out as well.
Brittany, she had a wonderful aura about her, a nice spirit, smiling, feeling confident in what she's getting ready to start doing. And I saw that, business, she was, give me the name of her business, Tan 21. And she said she came up with that name. So I hope I'm doing this right here. That, she's 21 and going into this, and, you have a lot of people, which I'm quite sure she's going to brand herself and go into all different markets. She's not going to do tunnel vision, so she's going to do very well. And, once we network all together here and exchange something, we're going to do well. God knows.
Let me emphasize, if you have your cards, make sure that you are networking, because that's where it starts. It may be something just as small as someone sharing a card, someone knows somebody, you meet somebody in the financial area, you just never know where a spark comes from. Because this is all about branding. We want to brand ourselves with the people that we have here, so that we can start networking and growing our businesses. Are there any questions around personal branding? And when I say personal branding, branding from your characteristics and your strengths, things like that. Are there any questions? What we just talked about. We talked about the corporate branding. I kind of showed us some branding that I have. If I can have those little cards back, can you get those little cards for me? Or I can those back. These are my souvenirs I keep a lifetime.
You're from Kaye, the Houston area?
I am. I'm here.
South Kaye Freeway. I'm like, that's only in Houston. I'm from Texas as well.
Oh, where's my part?
Huntsville.
Huntsville. Okay, yeah. I know the area. How long you been here?
Oh, 20 years.
Okay.
So that's my new brand. I'm not sure to keep my brand now.
Okay, no questions around that personal brand. So really start thinking about your personal brand. I love your shirt. I love the concept of the big shoes. So, let's start looking at our brand and really just bringing it out. And it just may be something that your parents and your grandparents hear about you that's so unique. That's the way God made you. All right, so we talked about personal branding. We're going to go forward and just keeping a look at the timing here. Let's see. It's frozen. Developing your elevator speech. And when you hear the word elevator, it's not an elevator going up, it's a speech that you have. Everybody should have a 1 to 2 minute presentation that you can share about your business. You can give a person your name, what you do, for a quick synopsis of your business, and you want to have a hook. You want to have something that grabs their attention. Mine is, we are the Aretha Franklin of leadership. I've heard people use got the strawberry on the whipped cream, just different terminologies or different phrases that you can have that would grab someone's attention and they remember you. Also, you want to define your target market. So you would tell them, I'm looking for a client, and that client would be someone in XYZ field. And it should be no longer than 1 to 2 minutes, because people are very busy, and we all are busy, and even if you speak longer than that, you're going to lose the individual. So you want to give them the meat. I do a whole class around developing an elevator speech or elevator speeches, because it's important. It depends on who you are meeting, what you say. And so that is very different. So you want to learn how to tailor. You can take one standard speech that you may put together. You can tailor that in many different ways. So that's really important. So do we have people who have started to develop their elevator speech? Oh, fantastic.
I didn't say your name.
Okay.
As I said, you are your brain, you say your brain. I am a person. I am not open.
because the more, I'm going to share mine too, but the more you speak on yourself, this is part of your branding. And again, you know, tell who you are, your business, throw a hook, you know, think of a hook that you can have for your business, and then also define your target market. Take it away from here.
Hi, I'm Alpha Omega God. I'm a brand that steps you up spiritually. We're going to be catering to people that are casual business, as well as just the common everyday person that wants to look good and understand that what they wear represents who they are. We're going to be doing fashion shows, step shows, and incorporating that all into a worship setting that will make you feel special.
All right, awesome.
That was good.
I do have several taglines.
Go ahead, share some of your taglines.
One is, whose image will you reflect when you wear what you wear? Another one is, wear what you stand for and say what you wear. Wear what you stand for and stand for what you wear. And depending on who I am with, you will give me line and step for God. So they're different ones depending on who I'm speaking with. And, you know, I will go by you are still, because you are still in control of what you represent. My name is Ursula Raquel Still, so but I'm going to brand you are still. SDI.
All right, awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. Come on. And remember, this is a time of learning. So we're in a safe environment. So if you want to share or kind of start putting your speech together, that's okay. We won't do that till I share mine at the end. Go right ahead. Okay.
But when I approach a person, your first presentation is your last. And I'm going to cater to all different markets. So when you buy, costume jewelry from me, I have the elegant, I have trendy, I have everyday. So, my market is going to be a lot different from others. Because I'm willing to come to where you are, or, we can do jewelry parties, and, I will give you a nice fee for having a jewelry party. And I just believe in being elegant and showing your product. When you step into certain environments, you dress accordingly. Maybe if I dress down, then I will have a dress down, a samba on, or if I'm going to a high-end beauty salon, then I'm going to suit myself up and brand myself. So I believe that you will be very happy with what I have on.
All right. Thank you. And I want to I'm just kind of pulling out some things you talked about elegance. So you can actually develop a branding around elegance, because you can dress down and still be elegant with the jewelry that you bring down. So if you think about your brand in your hook, think about something that centers around elegance. And I like the fact that you have different markets or different people, but depending on who you're speaking to, you may want to narrow your target market depending on who you're speaking to at the time. But I think your brand, I'm sitting there watching you and your presence, something around elegance would be a very good hook that you put in your statement. And again, like I said, mine is, we are the Aretha Franklin of leadership, because everybody knows who Aretha Franklin is. And elegance with jewelry can make you feel good and look good no matter what you have on. So, all right, thank you.
Feedback.
Anybody else? Go right ahead. You can use your name. That's okay. Doesn't matter.
My name is Beverly. I'm the owner of Beverly Catering Personal Chef Service, and we cater small dinner parties, and we also come to your home and cook you and your family 5 days for the meals. Have a lovely day.
Good. Awesome. I love the delightful. I love what she shared on how to make it full. So you might want to consider taking the information she gave you and kind of putting that in as part of it as well. So we got time for one more if anybody else is interested. Not, I'll close it up with mine. So one of my elevator speeches just depends on where I'm at when I'm doing this. I just don't say, hello, I'm Beverly Kaye Watson. I am a founding partner as well as a teacher, speaker, coach with the John Maxwell team. If you don't know John, go out and Google him. He is the Aretha Franklin of leadership. And you know what leadership is all about? Leadership is all about influence and value in other people. Because people don't care how much you know until they really know how much you care. And what I do is I help individuals raise their leadership lid. You know, in life, we all have a leadership lid, believe it or not. And if your lid is low, you're very ineffective in life. So as you become a stronger leader in your community, at work, and at home, your leadership lid is rising. And what happens is people start to migrate towards you. And the things that you need in life come your way. Again, I'm part of that awesome team, the Aretha Franklin of leadership. Thank you. Well, that's just one thing. And you just practice, change. Get in the mirror, and then over time, I use a tape recorder, I use a mirror, I use all of, and when I talk, a lot of times, I have, depending on what I'm doing, but if I'm doing an interview or something like that, I have a mirror that I'm looking in. And when I'm looking at myself in that mirror, I have a smile because it forces me to smile. And that presence is felt on the other side. So that's really important. Any questions around the elevator speech? Sure.
Because one of the other brand, I've taken a brand class, and I'm very new on doing something with the cap chamber, and they have a 12-month program. So we already took the brand class 2 months ago.
Good.
And one of the things he said is you have to pretend like you're in the elevator with Oprah and you got 2 minutes to tell your story that's without overcharge, without to get her to a point where she would want you to be on her top 100. You know what I'm saying? That top list. You have 2 minutes to figure out what you want to say.
In 2 minutes. So practice. Even if you partner with somebody here and network with somebody in the class, partner with somebody and develop that. And don't be afraid to mess up. And I'm telling you right now, when you first start speaking it in public, you may not sound that great, but keep saying it in and out, it'll start rolling. It'll be like, oh, you keep changing it, just start rolling out. Right. So you just keep going.
You don't sound confident, they won't be confident.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to stop and share something what she just said. I can tell when I'm not confident. When I'm not confident, this is what my body does. So learn your body. My shoulders go like this, and I'm just talking. And I said, wait, hold on. Because I know Beverly. I said, wait. I go look in the mirror. I said, girl, pull your shoulders up, pull it back, and then you speak from here. And you always be confident about what you say. You don't have to have all the information. Whatever you do in life is not about having all the information. It's about partnering with the right people who have the information. And that's another class. So I'm not going to get off target. But thank you for sharing it. So what we talked about thus far is we talked about the personal branding with our name and the importance of your personal brand and using your personal characteristics in your brand. So that's really important. And the second thing we talked about is having an elevator speech, a speech that can carry you in 2 minutes to tell Oprah what you provide and how you can help her. Because in life, it's all about wisdom. What is in it for me? The other person wants to know what is in it for them. So it's all about what do you bring to the table to help the other person. And that's what you want to present. I think somebody said about serving. You said it's about serving other people. That's what a business is all about. A business becomes successful when you learn to serve other people and not always look out for number one, what we already get. It's how we get more life. For the sake of time, we're going to cover one more section. It's 11 o'clock now, so we've got a couple of minutes, and then we're going to do some Q&A. It's developing an area of expertise. So now, an area of expertise centers around what you're good at. What are your talents? What do you naturally have a knack for that you're great at? You know, what are your skill set? I know Sheila has a lot of skill set in financing. So you take all that and you start taking it and you come up with what is it that I want to do. And if you haven't really narrowed it down, that's okay. It's really okay. You know, if you take a couple years and figuring try to figure that out. But you start looking at what is it that I really enjoy? What am I good at? What is it people always say about me? I heard somebody say earlier about passion. I don't know who was talking about passion, but as I speak, people always say, you're so passionate about speaking. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what I like to do. I really like helping bring the best out of people. I like motivating people and encouraging people and helping them come to understand their development. It's all about personal development in life. People who continue to develop themselves on a consistent basis continue to grow. If you stop developing yourself, you're going to go backwards. There is nothing in life. You can sit a pen in one. I can put this phone in one spot, and eventually it's going to slide down here, or if somebody's pushing up, it's going to push up. It's not going to stay in the same spot. Nothing in life stays in the same spot. You can put a car that's stalled, and that car can sit there for a while. And eventually, if you go back and look at the tire marks, that car going to either move backwards and forward at some point. And you can just sit there and watch it over time. Nothing stays in one spot. So you want to make sure whatever you're doing is taking you forward in life. So as you think about your area of expertise, what are you good at? Just do a list. Anything that comes to your head, just brainstorm. Just what I do sometimes, I take paper and I put it on the wall, and I use that blue tape so it won't mess with the wall. And I have a piece of paper, and I just start writing stuff down. And I may go do something else, and I'll come back and I'll go, oh, let me put this art down. And that way you just kind of put a list together. Well, you can look at that list. What am I good at? What is that? What's my passion? What do I really want to do? And that is how you identify your strength. Once if you farther than that, that's fine. You may be already past that point. But then you want to start narrowing it. Okay, these are the areas I want. If you pass that point, you want to say these are the areas that I'm really interested in developing. And then you do a deep dive. Do you have to get certified and go to class all the time and all that? No, you don't have to. But there are free classes available, especially in Georgia. There are programs through the Georgia Procurement Office, Georgia Tech Procurement Office. There are free classes. This Georgia Tech Procurement Office, their website is GTPA, Georgia Tech Procurement Assessment.
Yes.
PAC, GTPAC, thank you, .org. GTPAC.org. And they can help you through business development. There's what is the other one you said? SBA. So, and then there's another one that Score. So you can use those. You can use them to help you develop business. And also you guys in Clayton County or what's that county? Okay. So there's Clayton County. I know that they have leadership training and leadership opportunities. I can't think of the name offhand, but if you email me or connect with me, I can give you that information. And they do leadership. They do some type of 1 or 2 classes that you may they may help you with taxes and from that standpoint, or just some small classes that you can take. So those things are real important.
Clayton State also offers some classes. It's their a division of the SBDC, Small Business Development, and just go to Clayton State. I think it's SBDC, Small Business Development Corp. But and the Clayton State office, they offer classes quarterly. And then WIDA is another pretty good one. I went through WIDA when I first started Women Economic Development Agency. They're a spinoff from the SBDC, and they specialize with women, and they offer about 3 different classes throughout the year. They have free informational sessions. You can go and hear what all they're offering. They offer scholarships. It's not very expensive, but it could be like $500, but it's worth the investment because they go through several different levels, as you're doing today with branding and maybe KPD, and then they have workshops and books that they give you to help you, get started.
So just taking all that information and making sure that you identify your area of expertise is really important as you develop your business. And that is the key. So as you think about your area of expertise, have you all kind of narrowed down? I know you guys kind of mentioned your area.
still experimenting, talking about passion. My passion is sewing. I've been sewing since I was 9. But I don't get a chance to do it all the time because, I didn't ever step out on faith and just do it. So I started working. So work sustained me for all these years. Like I said, now I'm bored. But I have done some wedding. My niece had to make a wedding dress. Strictly on faith, never done one before, but it came out beautiful. And
You ever did the wedding dress?
I did not do the thing.
I'm gonna keep one in the phone.
I do like that, and that's what I did not do. I did not keep a portfolio of all this stuff. They have their pictures. I guess I could go back and get them. But one thing I found was that when I was doing the bridesmaids dresses, which brought me to where I am today, everybody had a totally different body type. I mean, from teeny to, voluptuous. And not only that, some would be larger top, small down bottom, so couldn't use the same pattern to make anybody's dress. So I found out what my niche was. It was spatial order, or this vision to be able to look at somebody and say, oh, let me expand this and cut this pattern out to cater to their size. And so what I was thinking was that about starting a business where I actually look through wardrobes for women with uniquely shaped bodies.
Wow.
Not just mine shaped like them. I'm kind of proportionate, but not everybody is proportionate like that. So that was what I'm thinking.
So
You can't buy off the rack. You can't buy off the rack. But I could do, your blazer, your top, your skirts, your pair of pants, have your wardrobe.
I need you.
That's my name. Well, I'm not so much into alterations because I don't like all the stuff that's already done. I'm into the construction and I'm going to start.
Another way, she also like on the nonprofit side, and so the nonprofit would teach girls how to sew.
Yes, and that's
There's a lot of
another
information
thing.
on that and getting grants and stuff, because that's a dying art.
Yeah,
Sewing, my husband knew how to thread things.
No, my son tried to thread a straight pin. He wrapped the thread around the. I'm like, did I miss something?
You have a question?
Comment. I know for me, when I try to just get my stuff out there, when I try to sew everything, like from accessories to scarves to hats to everything, I had cupcakes, and they ate cupcakes, and I was like, okay, what about my clothing? I didn't see my clothing, and I was trying to sell my clothing. He was like, oh, you bake, bake and got orders for the cupcakes before I got the orders for the clothing. So I decided, well, finish this degree and start a business in baking. That's where I found my niche.
Good, very good.
That's fine. Are we gonna have enough time, because I really want to get everyone's name, and phone number, so
I think
we
we
can
can-
network and help each other.
Yeah, I think you guys, I have the sign-in sheet. I can actually send out this sheet if you guys don't get cards from everybody. Try to network and get cards. I we're going to just kind of end here for us a session. We talked about it's 11:10. What we talked about thus far is we talked about just that personal branding, and I think we've got some stimulation going on how to personal brand. We talked about that elevator speech. Like I said, I do offer a class on that. I can help you with developing an elevator speech if you're interested, or elevator speeches. And also we talked about that area of expertise and gave some websites, some places, locations that you can go to kind of help you develop your business standpoint. Make sure, I know that there's an organization, because in Houston we had a Houston Minority Business Council. There's a council here. I'm not in the Atlanta one, but there is a council here, and they offer business law. There's a business attorney that works in that office that can help you look at any business documents and things like that. And also, it's not a store, but there's another organization. What's the other one? Small business.
There's a small business development. University
Small
of Georgia.
business development.
The University of Georgia, they'll do one-on-ones with you. Free.
Right, they'll do the one-on-ones. And also, the Small Business Development Center can help look at a lot of your corporate documents. So So with that, let me kind of share this information that I have at the table, and then we'll do a Q&A. I offer different programs, and a lot of my programs are around personal development, leadership development, corporate development. Those are the types of programs I offer. I do the programs on a one-on-one basis. I work with individuals. Also, I work with teams, and I do organizations. I do seminars. I do training. It can be several days of training, and I do coaching over long term for its personal development. Some of the programs I offer, this one here is a great program. It's putting your dreams to the test. So, as we go out and venture out, you have dreams that you really want to start putting them to the test. I have a whole program that's developed around this. It's like an 8-week program, but we only meet like once a week for an hour and a half, and we talk about the development of your business. Another program that is really, really great is Everyone Communicate, Few Connect. And we talk all day long. But who do you really connect with? It's so funny, I can tell you one thing. I can say, go out the door and get the bag, and you go out the other door, and it's like, okay, you bring a bag, but it's a big, huge bag, and you went through the door on the right, which I was talking about. It's a little small bag here. So we all communicate, but do we really connect? And learning to connect with people is so important. And I hope I started some of that in this room today, because the thing is that you want to connect with people and start developing relationships, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. You can have a great idea, you can have a great, this great idea that's just huge. But if people don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, you're not going to get the business out the ground. So it's really important to find out what is it that the other person needs. You have a dynamic business. I have a sewing machine in the house. I've had since I think I was 8 years old. So that thing is what, 40? Anyhow, it's at the house. I still got it, and I need to know how to sew. I thought, I'm not throwing this away. No, this is for kids.
And only know that's probably worth so much.
Yes. And I probably threw away the pedal to it too, I think. I just put the pedal away. I don't believe this thing. But anyhow, you have a great business. There's a lot of business development. There's a lot going on in this room. I love what you're doing with your business, with your Alpha Omega. I love that idea. So there's a lot going on in the room, the finance opportunity. So you just need to branch out. Is the power one? That is just, I can't wait till you have power one. So with that said, are there any questions or anything we need to talk about? Is 11:14. I don't know how old you guys, but I do want to pass out my survey so that we can get information. I want to make sure everybody has my business card. If you didn't get one, please grab one on the way out. And questions or comments?
It's a blessing sent this morning.
Yeah, praise the Lord. I appreciate that. And look, I've been in corporate in interviews and other things. I say amen in a minute. I don't care who I'm sitting right here. I say amen in a minute. So that's just part of my brain. That's just part of who I am. And that don't change. So y'all can take what it is. Amen. So,
What's my father?
Hey?
Amen.